Good morning. Good morning. What is going on, family? I am very, very excited to be here for another huge eXp announcement. This company is growing like crazy right now. We're adding like 1,000 agents a week here in the US to the company. And I couldn't be more excited to introduce the newest team to join the fast forward movement at eXp. Desi, Laura, how are you guys doing this morning?
Fantastic, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I've had 3 successful drop-offs in a row with my kid, which is great because last week my wife tried to drop her off and she ran away from school at 5 years old. At 5, yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to take these smooth drop-offs. I'm going to take them every day of the week.
That's fantastic.
But hey, let's see, that's
Great.
real life, right? We probably all had that with our kids. But
Seriously.
she had her 5th birthday on Wednesday. So she waited till she was 5 to run away from school. So I appreciate
Nice, nice. Let's see what she does at 10.
Right? Yeah, that's a sign of what's to come. Cool. Well, hey, for those who have never met you guys before, tell us a little bit about the R&D team.
Absolutely. So Laura and I met about 8 years ago. And she likes to tell the story of how we met, which was kind of funny. So actually, you know what? You tell the story.
Great.
Because you tell it really cute.
Hi, Carl.
Hi.
How did we meet? He had new license. Very geeky with his little backpack, like just looking and studying the MLS like to no end. And I'm like, oh my God, this poor child. Nobody told him that yes, it's crucial to study the trends, but you also need to speak to people, not just read and watch videos.
So coming into this, I had over 20 years of experience in investment banking with JP Morgan. So I was a client service rep. So, my skill set was, hey, listen, study the market, study data, so that you can speak to people. So that, she's like, yeah, I see this guy, that's my geekiness, right? Walking around with my book bag and studying stuff. But yeah, so she was just like, hey, dude, like, that's not how you make money. So we hooked up, and it was actually funny because they were like, hey, listen, this is how this works. And, when you need, once you ready to write a contract, you come back and get a pre-approval. So I come back, I'm like, I need a pre-approval. She's like, yeah, but you need to get him on the contract. I'm like, yeah, I did. So I need a pre-approval.
We had a very antiquated system. Okay?
So I'm like, boom. And I'm like, again, ignorance is so bliss. So I do it again and again and again. So my first, and this is, and I know I'm a unicorn when it comes to this, my first 6 months in the business, I did 22 transactions.
That's huge.
Right off the gate.
But I didn't know any better. So I'm like, oh, this is like stealing candy from a baby. Like that's all you have to do. So, but it was awesome. And what got us to where we are now is, in Delaware, there's a pretty large Latino market, but very few Spanish speaking professionals. So we had to translate everything, attorneys, lenders, home inspectors, like everything. So that helped us to where we are today, where we know a lot about a lot.
We're pretty dangerous.
Yep. So yeah, and that's where we are right now.
That's awesome. And so you guys have 5 team members, right? Including you guys?
Yes. Yep. So our spouses are on our team as well. They do it part-time. And then we have 2 licensed admins. One does buyer intake, and then the other one does transaction coordinating.
Beautiful. And goal is 100 units this year?
God will.
I love that. So you guys were with one of the big franchises. You guys have been there for a good amount of time, and you guys chose to make this move to eXp. Why?
Right? When you and I had the conversation, we had a very different conversation, right? And that conversation wasn't about recruiting. Initially, which is, where a lot of people kind of tend to focus, and stock options and so on and so forth. What we were talking about was something bigger and something that we were actually looking for, right? So we're looking to 10x our business. We're looking to, to grow what we consider to be our family business, right? Our girls, they're part of our family, right? So we want to help them succeed. We want to help them grow. And what you offered us was growth.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff you hear out there, or I mean, I know everybody, if you're a realtor and you're watching this, you've all been hit up by that eXp agent, right? Who's telling you about get rich quick and you're going to get all this stock and you're going to retire and live on a tropical island and get checks in the bank every week. Like, that's this horrible story, right? People ask us, like, what's the negative of eXp? It's that. I mean, the biggest negative is the people who run around talking about nothing but stock and revenue share, because that's not why anybody got a real estate license, right? I don't know anybody who's like, I'm gonna get my real estate license and I'm gonna be a stockbroker. Like, no, that never happened. I
No,
also don't know any who's like, I'm gonna get my real estate license so I could be a recruiter. That never happens.
no.
People get a real estate license because they want to help families and help them buy homes, help them sell homes. Like, that's why we all got into this business. And that's the big difference with our group, is that's what our group's all about. We want to help you guys help as many families as we possibly can, because the way that we win with this company is to help you guys win with this company. And so, right, that conversation you're talking about is, we hopped on a call for a half hour and we didn't talk about stock or revenue share one time. We
That
just
never
talked
came
about,
up.
yeah, we talked about how we're going to help you grow. We talked about our masterminds. Heck, you guys are coming down to Valle de Guadalupe with us, which I'm super pumped about. So we're going down to Mexican wine country, shoot, in a month from now.
Yeah,
We'll be going in Valle de Guadalupe. And that's going to be a fun event, because that is where we bring all the top producers within our group together.
can't
There's
wait.
going to be just under 100 people. Virtually everybody there is doing 50 million plus in production. And all we're going to talk about is production. How do we help more families? How do we help you guys grow your team? How do we help you get to that 10x goal? Because that's
And
what the group is
that's
about.
and that's the beauty of it, right? We also, we're also members of, the Tom Ferry ecosystem as well. But to find something outside of that, right, which is what we found, just enhances it that much more. To be able to be like, hey, listen, okay, yeah, I get it, but how does that really work? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And really being able to connect those dots, because again, it's all about execution, right? And until that actually happens, it's just something that you sit there and you have paralysis by analysis, because it's just like, okay, yeah, that sounds great, but how do I apply it?
for sure.
So,
And that's the thing, is a lot of the events you go to, people go up on stage and then they tell you, like, oh yeah, I did 100, sales from X source. And you're like,
mhm.
oh man, I should go get X source. But then it's like, well, okay, what do I do with it? Like, what's the follow-up plan? What's the deliverable? What do I send? What's the email? What's the text message? What's the script? How do I, do this? How do I do that? Like, you don't get that. Where within the group today, this morning, one of the people mentioned, like, oh yeah, we have this checklist we give to clients. It's our 200-point checklist of everything we do to help market their home. Like, that's what you hear on stage. Within our group, it's not like, this is what we do. It's, here is my 200-point checklist. Literally, R&D is the name of your team. Tom talks about it. We talk about it. Rip off and duplicate, right? Like, here, people are actually giving you that stuff. They're not just talking about it. They're giving it to you, because the way that we all win is to give everything. And the more we give, the more we get. And that's the beauty of this company.
Yeah, and listen, I love it because it fits our culture both professionally and personally, right? Because as Latinos, we're a very giving culture, right? You look at perfect example. You look at the hurricane in Puerto Rico, right? Yeah, they didn't have power, they didn't have this, but what do Puerto Ricans do, right? They're resilient. They come together. We share everything, right? We're gonna, we are going to get through this, right?
Yeah.
And that to me was what you offered. Like, hey, listen, here's where you are, but we are going to help you get to here, bro. That was it. That spoke volumes.
We haven't seen it in the years that we've been in business. I mean, I'm on my 10th year in business, and all I've ever known was Remax. And then we did make two changes to two small boutique companies. And we're very grateful, because every single move we've had growth. And anytime, we feel frustrated, we know we've already reached our maximum potential, and now it's time to move on and expand our wings and, just, I don't know, lock arms with other people that are producing at higher levels than we currently are, because we're missing something, and I don't know what that ingredient is. So we got to go find it.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, hey, before we wrap, guys, this isn't just about you. This is about your team as well. What's your team excited for?
They're also excited to just collaborate with other people so they can hear it from someone else, right? Like, listen, admin to admin, right? These guys are maniacs. Like, how do I wrangle these guys in? How do I position myself? How do I grow myself? Everyone's, we're all at different levels. So we're kind of like that SEAL team. Everyone kind of has their level of expertise. But once again, we want to help everyone grow. But we're growing so quickly that it's kind of hard to kind of reach back and help people relate, again, connect those dots.
Yeah.
Where Laura and I make it look simple because of our years of experience. These guys are just kind of coming along, and I think for them, they're super excited to kind of get with someone kind of like on their level and kind of be like, hey, listen, you're running with these with these powerhouse teams. How do I make myself better?
I love it. Yeah, community and collaboration, baby. That's what it's all about. So I am super excited to have you guys a part of it. I'm excited to hang out down in Valle Guadalupe next month. I'm excited to see you on our every Monday mastermind. It's going to be a blast with you guys. If you're watching this video, if you want to learn more about why these guys made the move, reach out to Desi, reach out to Laura. I know they would love to connect with you, share a little bit more about their decision. If there's ever anything any of us could do, shoot us a DM. We're happy to help you guys out. Welcome to the family, guys.
Thank you, guys.